Did aliens kill the dinosaurs? In the middle of a sun-scorched desert, two dinosaurs trudged through the sands. A T-Rex, who looked positively miserable with his tiny arms flailing for balance, and a Myosaur, who seemed equally unimpressed with their current location. The vast emptiness stretched endlessly around them, offering nothing but shimmering heat waves and the occasional lizard scuttling by. Both dinosaurs appeared to be having a mid-Cretaceous crisis, pondering how life had brought them to this dusty wasteland. Their dreams of a lush, green paradise felt as distant as the moon. That was when they noticed it, a strange glint on the horizon. Something pointy. And let's be honest, nothing good ever came from pointy things. As they waddled closer, the glint transformed into a swirl of sand and dust, which eventually revealed itself to be pyramids, massive, golden, and annoyingly smug-looking pyramids that practically screamed, "We're better than you." These architectural oddities rose from the desert floor as if the earth itself had grown tired of being boring and decided to accessorize. The dinosaurs, not being familiar with advanced geometry, were deeply suspicious. Their reptilian instincts told them to stay away, but curiosity, or perhaps sheer boredom, got the better of them. The sand around the pyramid seemed to vibrate, and a strange energy hung in the air like the build-up to a cosmic prank. As the dinosaurs stood gawking, an Egyptian beauty materialized from the shimmering haze like a mirage come to life. She was resplendent, her golden jewelry glinting in the sunlight and her eyeliner sharp enough to cut through the thickest sandstone. Despite the dinosaurs' rather modest intellectual capacities, they somehow knew this was someone important. She gestured grandly at the pyramids, her every movement dripping with theatrical flair. Her presence alone seemed to suggest that these pointy monuments were no mere decoration. They had a purpose, and that purpose apparently involved cosmic communication. Naturally, the dinosaurs were intrigued, mostly because she seemed to have some connection to greenery, something they hadn't seen in weeks. The beauty was clearly a multitasker, part-time diplomat to otherworldly beings and part-time aspiring landscaper. The sun barely had time to set before the pyramids began their main act. From the sky descended a shiny, saucer-shaped UFO, which parked itself snugly between the paws of the Sphinx, like it had a reserved spot. Out popped a trio of aliens, their glowing, jellybean-shaped bodies shimmering with self-importance. If the pyramids were smug, these extraterrestrials were positively insufferable. They surveyed the scene with an air of disinterest, as if visiting Earth was just another item on their intergalactic to-do list. The Egyptian beauty greeted them with all the pomp and circumstance she could muster, gesturing at the pyramids, the desert, and presumably the two dinosaurs, who were still trying to figure out if the glowing beings were edible. The aliens didn't stay long. With a few dramatic hand gestures and a lot of humming noises, they returned to their ship and zipped off into the cosmos, leaving everyone to wonder what, if anything, they had actually accomplished. No sooner had the UFO disappeared than the pyramids began to glow. And not just any glow, this was a light show level glow, complete with humming vibrations and a sense of impending chaos. The desert itself seemed to pulse with energy as the pyramids lit up like the universe's most over-engineered night lights. The dinosaurs, for their part, were reasonably terrified. They crouched behind a rock that, given their size, did little to hide them. Meanwhile, the Egyptian beauty looked on with an expression that could only be described as cosmic influencer in her element. Then, as if the universe had decided to throw caution to the wind, the entire landscape changed. The sky turned an unnatural shade of dark yellow, and the pyramids radiated a glow so intense that it seemed to bend the laws of physics. Out of nowhere, an entire city began to form around the pyramids, golden streets, lush gardens, and rivers flowing with what looked suspiciously like liquid gold. It was as if someone had taken an architect's fever dream and cranked it up to 11. The dinosaurs were dumbstruck. This was it, the paradise they had been longing for. Ferns, trees, and delicious greenery as far as the eye could see. They wasted no time waddling into the new utopia, tails wagging like overexcited dogs. While the dinosaurs basked in their newfound greenery, the pyramids continued their antics. One of them vanished into a sudden dust cloud, only to reappear moments later, looking even shinier than before. It was as if the pyramid had gone for a quick spa treatment and come back with a fresh coat of smugness. Meanwhile, two enormous cat-like Sphinx statues at the edge of the Golden City decided to get in on the action. Their eyes began to glow with electric energy, and before anyone could say, "Bad idea," they fired a beam of light straight into the heavens. Naturally, this summoned the UFO once again. The aliens returned, looking slightly annoyed, as if they had been interrupted during an interstellar yoga session. The aliens, despite their mild irritation, came bearing gifts. They produced a glowing seed, which they claimed would solve all problems. Without much fanfare, they handed it over and zipped back into their UFO, no doubt eager to leave this strange, dinosaur-filled planet behind. The seed worked its magic immediately. The barren desert transformed into a lush, green wonderland. Forests sprang up, rivers flowed, and the dinosaurs frolicked with reckless abandon. Trevor, the T-Rex, dove headfirst into a pile of ferns, emerging covered in leaves but looking blissfully happy. For a brief, shining moment, everything was perfect. The Sphinx statues, however, seemed less impressed. They watched silently as the UFO ascended into the sky, their stone faces unreadable. It didn't take long for the aliens to encounter trouble. Somewhere in the vastness of space, their ship ran straight into a meteor shower. Despite their advanced technology and apparent overconfidence, the aliens failed to dodge. One of the UFOs spiraled out of control, crashing back to Earth in a fiery explosion that could be seen from orbit. The impact was catastrophic. The lush paradise was obliterated in an instant, the pyramids crumbled into ruins, and the dinosaurs, well, they didn't stand a chance. The Golden City reverted to its original state, a dull, lifeless desert. When the dust finally settled, the Egyptian beauty stood alone, looking more than a little miffed. Somewhere in the distance, the Sphinx statues rolled their eyes, as if to say, "We told you this was a bad idea." And so, the dinosaurs were no more, the pyramids were reduced to rubble, and Earth was left to wonder what could have been. All thanks to the combined efforts of overly ambitious Egyptians and aliens who really should have read the user manual for their UFOs.